In this track and trade trading training video, I want to talk to you about the Bulls and Bears ribbon indicator. Now, the ribbon indicator is what you see laid across this chart here, and we're looking at a stock chart. And this is Apple, and I can come in here and turn this ribbon indicator on and off just simply through the right-click menu. And you'll notice that this is the Bulls and Bears, and this ribbon indicator is associated with the Bulls and Bears tool. Therefore, if you don't have the Bulls and Bears plugin, you won't have the ribbon indicator. It is specifically for the Bulls and Bears. And what we use it for is we use it to help us enhance our ability to read the Bulls and Bears tools and the buy-sell signals as the market moves through different areas of support and resistance. Now, you'll notice in this Apple chart that the green, of course, with the Bulls and Bears indicates that the market's in a strong uptrend. The yellow, of course, is when the market is pulled back into a neutral, and then the red, of course, is when the market has begun a new downtrend. Now, in this situation, you'll notice that we have a nice rally point, and then the market, of course, pulled back, and then began to rally once again. Now, wouldn't it be nice if we had a tool that could help us identify that that's what this market might be doing, rather than making a full and complete reversal as we did over here, but more so just pulling back and making a projection out into the future? Well, that's what the Bulls and Bears ribbon indicator can help us do. So if we come in here and we turn on the ribbon indicator, you'll notice that as this market begins to flow, if you look at it kind of like water going down through a river, you'll notice that it's flowing, but it's getting kind of pushed around a little bit by some rocks in the water. But notice that it still continues in the overall general flow of the overall trend. Now, this is the ribbon indicator as it's flowing up through this nice uptrend. And as we got this signal right here, this sell signal, you'll notice that the ribbon indicator is basically helping us to filter out the fact that this market is not a real strong reversal position, but just a temporary downtrend. And then as the ribbon indicator, you'll notice, didn't fold all the way over the top of itself because the market started to rally once again. And you'll notice that the ribbon indicator is a nice, straight, long, wide ribbon while the market's in a nice, long uptrend. And you can see that reflected all the way to this point here. Now, we come off with a little squeeze point. If I slide this back a little bit in time, you'll see that as this market began to rally right in here, see how close the ribbon was? See how close they were? And that's indicating that this is a good buy signal from the Bulls and Bears, and that we're in a nice, tight squeeze zone. And as that market begins to rally, you'll notice how wide the ribbon starts to spread out. We have this little bit of a fold right in here, a little bit of a bump, a little bit of a pullback. And notice, of course, that the Bulls and Bears is designed to take that information for you from the Fibonacci ruler, and as that market starts to pull back into the Fibonacci sweet spot down in here, this is where we turn neutral, and then of course we've gone red, and then of course we start to rally once again. And as this market starts to shoot back out, we get another sell signal out here, or an indication the market is changing from bullish to bearish. And as that happens, notice how the ribbon indicator starts to fold over the top of itself. And notice how the shorter term moving averages of the ribbon indicator start to lay down over the top. This is indicating that this is a more of a squeeze point time zone and are ready for this market to make a nice rally and a reversal point. And then as it rolls over the top of itself, or almost folds over the top of itself, you can see that the shorter term moving averages already broke through the entire level of all of the longer term moving averages of the ribbon indicator, and this is an indication that, or a confirmation of an indication, that this market is beginning to drop quite strongly. And as this market drops down through this area, you'll notice as it rolls through this longer downtrend, that the ribbon indicator starts to spread out, and you can see the width of the indicator once again. And then as the market rounds out along the bottom, and we get this new buy signal right in here, and as that shorter term moving average starts to cross over, it's an indication, or giving us an indication the market is beginning to change our trend, and it's starting to fold back over the top of itself. So we use the ribbon indicator as a filter to help us identify areas of support and resistance and pullbacks, and where markets are in strong uptrends and downtrends, and the width and the distance between those ribbon indicators are what helps us make that identification. And then as the ribbon begins to fold over the top of itself, this is a change in market direction.
The content of this program does not constitute investment advice. This program is to help enlighten you to the opportunities for further education and training techniques by industry leaders. This should not be considered as a solicitation to buy, sell, or invest in securities, options, futures, or Forex. Remember, trading does involve the risk of loss. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Stocks, futures, options, and Forex trading is not suitable for every investor. Please consult a professional regarding your financial situation before placing a trade.